Well, hey, neighbor. It's me, Angie. Come on in. It's time for our neighborhood chat. Welcome. Come on back here to the back of the house. We're meeting back here today. Mr. It's Me's asleep in front, but don't forget to get your drink and your snack before you come because we got a lot to talk about and we have a lot of people to talk about. Don't you want to talk about people? You know, I got some juicy things to say about some channels. Don't you want to hear about it? I'm calling them out. I really am. But anyway, let's talk about the beginning of this first before we get into all that. I want to read this poem that says, I shall not pass this way again. The bread that bringeth strength I want to give. The water pure that bids the thirsty live. I want to help the fainting day by day. I'm sure I shall not pass again this way. I want to give the oil of joy for tears, the faith to conquer crowding doubts and fears. Beauty for ashes may I give away. I'm sure I shall not pass again this way. I want to give good measure running o'er, and into angry hearts I want to pour the answer soft that turneth wrath away. I'm sure I shall not pass again this way. I want to give to others hope and faith. I want to do all that the Master saith. I want to live all right from day to day. I'm sure I shall not pass again this way. Now, I read that little poem because that's what I want to do. I want to give all those positive things. But yet and still, we're fixing to call a few channels out. I know I don't normally do this in my neighborhood chat. But you know what? It's going to have to be a part 1 and a part 2. There's so many channels out there that I want to talk about. And I'm going to talk about them. And they're not in any particular order. No. I just wrote them down as I thought of them. And I'll do more. But these are the ones that just came to my mind. And remember, it's no particular order because I'm going to get to you and talk about you. I am going to talk about you. The first one I want to talk about is Josie's Place. Now, Josie's Place is a wonderful channel. And I know most of you know who Josie is. Now, you have to realize Josie's an older person. She doesn't mind telling you that. That's what I love about Josie. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell you my perception of them, the way I see them. Joey's is a lovely person. She speaks her mind. She says what she thinks. And when I get her age, I'm probably going to do that same thing, and which I'm doing it now. I'm just going to go ahead and say what I want to say. But Josie is a good role model. Now, whether you have been on, out with Josie or have a problem with her or whatever, because there's a lot of nasty going on YouTube. But you know what? We all have nasty within us. I mean, there are people that don't like me. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. And I don't mind. I think that's what builds character when you come across people that don't really like you. I think that builds character. But anyway, Josie's a very lovely person. I don't really want to talk about what people do on their channel. Through this video, I want to talk about how I perceive them. But I will say that Josie does auctions. But my view of Josie is, Josie has always been a fighter, independent. She had a hard life. She and I have talked about it. But she's made it through. And she's lived her life the best way she knows how. Has it always been right? No, none of us do. We make mistakes. And she'll tell you that she makes mistakes. But I love Josie. And whether you have anything against her or not, I perceive her as a very nice person. The next person I want to talk about is Nana Tink's Treasures. Now, Nana Tink, she has talked about her upbringing before. And I think we all that's had rough times in our past really are more sympathetic toward other people and empathetic. And there's a difference between being sympathetic and empathetic. Sympathetic is, I feel bad for you, but I'm so glad it's not me. Empathetic is, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry you're going through that. I feel your pain. What can I do for you? And that's the way I perceive Nana Tink. She's very empathetic, very giving, very loving. I mean, she did a super chat for me. And she wants to do an intro for my channel. Didn't want to charge me anything for it. Just wanted to give. She's a giver. That's what I love about Nana Tink. And she truly loves people. Now, if you've ever had any beef with Nana Tink, we all do have beef with people, but I can't imagine it. But I'm here to tell you, people are human and they're going to make mistakes. But the way I choose to perceive people is I want to see their good side. Because we all have a bad side. We all do. Oh, you can say you don't, but you do. But I choose to look at the good side. And to me, that's Nana Tink. The next channel I want to call out is Leslie's Lucky Finds. You know, I don't know when I started watching Leslie's Lucky Finds channel. I don't know when I started watching it. I was watching a lot more channels before I come across Leslie's channel. But Leslie used to be in the law enforcement. That was her job. You know, believe it or not, we all had professions before we come on YouTube. Believe it or not. But Leslie, she'll tell you she's insecure. And I don't know why. She's a beautiful person. She cares about what people think about her and perceive her as. And to me, Leslie's always been a very kind person. Very giving, understanding, long-suffering. You know, her husband went through an accident and you know, that's difficult when your spouse goes through something. Can you imagine what James has to deal with on a daily basis with me? She had to leave YouTube for a little while, but she came back strong. And I really like Leslie. I think she's a wonderful person. Why do we have to talk negativity about someone when we can look at their positive side, their good side? Why do we have to see the one thing that we think is not good? You need to go over and visit Leslie's Lucky Find. She is excellent. The next channel I want to talk about is The Winning Walk with Christina. Now, Christina's been coming to my channel for a long time, and when she first showed up at one of my live chats, her last name is Lewis, and honestly, that was my biological father's last name was Lewis. So I'm really a Lewis. That I met him when I was 32. And it just stood out to me. I said, oh, there's my sister. She's got the same last name as I'm supposed to have. And she's wonderful. She does the winning walk with Christina. She walks. She's a Christian. She doesn't mind telling you she's a Christian. She has a strong faith. She has moral standards, integrity. She has empathy for people. Her heart just hurts when yours hurts. But she'll tell you what her beliefs are, and she's not ashamed of them. You know, a lot of people won't talk about their beliefs on their channel, but she doesn't mind. She'll tell you exactly where she stands. She don't have anything to hide. Go over there and check her channel out. She's great. These people that have a YouTube channel are people. They have feelings. They have concerns. They have needs. They have wants. They have hard times, sad times. You know, just because they come on here and they don't talk about all the things that they're going through, it doesn't mean they don't go through things. Just like myself and James. We go through a lot that I don't talk about on YouTube. But James and I walk this path together, and we see it in a positive way. Now, have we always been that way? No. But through the years that we've been married, we have grown to understand that you just take things with a grain of salt. And a lot of stuff just doesn't matter like it used to when I was back in my 30s. But anyway, Christina is a beautiful, beautiful person. Go over there and check her channel out. The next channel I want to talk about is Adventures with Victoria. Now, I just adore Victoria. She has a lot of energy. I can't imagine Victoria hurting anyone intentionally. Now, I know she can probably get upset, as we all can. But Victoria stops and thinks before she does something when it comes to somebody else. She honestly is more like me, like stays neutral. She'll pray for you in a heartbeat. But she loves to get crazy about stuff. And her mind automatically goes to the craziest things. Funny things. She has a morning show that is real good. She's a very beautiful person. Go over there and check Adventures with Victoria. She'll make you laugh. She really will. Beautiful person. The next channel I want to talk about is Adopted Retrospects, Kim. Now, Kim, I hadn't been watching Kim as long as I've watched some of these channels that I'm going to name. And Kim and I got started in another channel where we always stayed in the corner because we always was stirring up stuff in a nice way. And we would joke back and forth. And if you can find somebody in the chats that you can joke back and forth with, it's so refreshing, you know. But Kim, she's military. She's been in the military before. Can you imagine being her child and her being in the military? And I think her husband was too. See, we got to get to know these people besides just what they do on their YouTube channel. We got to understand that these two people fought for our country. If her husband was in the military, and I think he was. Just like Leslie Lucky Fine, she was in law enforcement. Can you imagine? But thank you, Kim, for your service. I really appreciate it. But a lot of times we want to disrespect people that served our country and disrespect our country. So uncalled for, unnecessary, shouldn't be done like that. But Kim has a great sense of humor, and she sort of like has she loves toys, and she sells different things. Like, I don't want to say she's childish, but she loves toys and things for children and stuff like that. It's just the way she is. And no matter how you may disagree with some of these channels that I'm speaking of, try to look at them as human beings and understand that they go through things. And if we could just be there for them and not talk about them and uplift them and be there for their channel and let them be there for you. And stop being so nasty, because you can find good in anything. And that's the way I perceive all these channels I go to. Well, there's my friend Kim. There's my friend Leslie, Victoria, Nana, Josie. They're all my friends. I'm a friend to them, so I say they're my friends. And they can be angry with me or get mad at me or not like what I say, but I'm not angry with them and I'm not upset with them. I love them because I'm allowing them to be human just like I am. We all get in bad moods. We all say things we don't want to say. We do things we don't want to do. But at the end of the day, we need to be there for each other, uplifting each other, supporting each other, not tearing each other down and not being phony. That's the worst thing you can be. Be real. Be who you are. But I'm calling these channels out. The next one I want to talk about is Pam's Treasures. Now, Pam, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Pam comes on with Josie. They're a team. They're really good friends. Pam's a very, very sincere Christian. She's very loyal to the God she serves. You can tell it. Pam has a good heart. Pam's quiet, I think, until you get to know her, and then I think she really will just let it all hang out. But I've gotten to know Pam through Josie. And Pam has a very caring heart. That's the way I perceive her. Now, people that I'm talking about these channels, you may see them in a different light. But this is the way I see them, and this is the way I choose to see them. Okay? And people say, Andy, you stay neutral, you don't get involved in all the rigmarole. No, because I choose to see everyone in a light that is refreshing and bright until they give me a reason not to. None of these channels have given me any reason to see them any different than I see them. And I don't really like it that people try to cause my vision to be blurred by something they think that person has done to them. I will support these channels as long as I am alive, probably. But go over and check Pam's Treasures out. She's a beautiful person. Beautiful person. Now, this next one is very dear to my heart. And it's Save Here First, Ella. Now, I just happened to start going into Ella's chat with her auction. And at first, I sat back and watched the whole chat and didn't really get involved. I spoke to everybody. Didn't really buy a lot at first. I liked Ella, or I wouldn't have kept going back. I like her. She's down to earth. She tells it like it is. She doesn't care if you like her or not. That's the way we all should be, which I'm that way. If you like me, I want you to. If you don't, well, it's your loss. But Ella is true to Ella. She is who she is. She's a very beautiful person. Don't ask her a question unless you want the answer. But she and I do a talk show every other Sunday night called Keeping It Real. And that's what we try to do, keep it real. Now, if you ask us a question, she and I both feel like this. We're going to answer it honest as we feel like it should be answered to our ability. Does it mean it's right when we answer the question? No, but we're going to give you our opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt, or you can flush it down the toilet. And it's been a really big success because our chat really gets involved. If you haven't seen that, go over there and watch a couple of episodes and come over, and not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, and watch it live and in color. But I adore Ella. Ella is like a sister that is on the other side of the, she's from the UK, United Kingdom. She's British. But she came here to live. And she and I were born in the same year. Just a couple of months apart. Her birthday's in March, mine's in May. And she and I think a lot alike, which Josie and I think a lot alike. And people have said ugly things about Ella. And it really hurts my heart when any of these people that I've spoken about gets attacked by someone else, because one day they'll be friends with somebody and then the next day they're mad at them. I don't really understand that. They're making videos about how they were done wrong and this happened and that happened, but just 24 hours earlier they were besties. I mean, really, come on. That's why Ella and I had the program of, can you really have a friend on YouTube? Can you really? I'm here to tell you, you can. You can. But you have to be a friend too. And Ella, I can call my friend because I know I'm her friend. And we don't have to talk every day. We only meet up every other Sunday, except when I go in her chat on her during her auction. And we have a few minutes before the show and we talk. But it's like we've never been apart. It's like we just have been talking every day. But we don't. But I know how Ella is and Ella knows how I am. It's like we get each other. You know, you come across those people like that. But I love each and every one of these channels that I have spoken about. I love y'all. And I see the best in y'all. And y'all have so much to offer and so much to give. And don't stop doing what you're doing. Just be who you are. And this is the first part, because I have other channels that I'm going to call out and talk about. Because I am going to talk about them. But I'm going to talk about them in a positive way. And with that being said, neighbor, like, share, comment. Tell me about your favorite channels. Tell me about what you like about the channels that I've mentioned, because there's going to be a part 2 to this, and I'm fixing to make part 2 right after I get through with this one. And it may even be a part 3. Because I feel like these channels need to be shouted out and talked about, and for you to know how I perceive them and how much I care about them. And with that being said, neighbor, remember, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bye, neighbor.